Well, now Spiro. Obviously, I've interviewed quite a number of people, ne? And botlhe batla ba harologane. The previous one or the most recent one, utlile IT studio setup, right? And then the other ones, no, they're very nervous, and then nali in between. Where now you are very much comfortable with our director here. Please tell me how and why.
For me, fam, like I've been in the film industry for like, before I go back to how I know him, like I've been in the industry for like 5 years. I went to Lemco, and then I went to Avda. Lemco, I was a bit shy. I was one of those shy guys.
No ways.
I was always shy, like you know. And then I went to Avda. Avda was like, you have to break the fourth wall. Just break it. Break it. Talk to people. And then I started talking to people. Like the very first time I got into school, I was like, you know what? I don't want to chill with people by working. I'm from school with. Let me go chill with people by working. School and sit. So then I saw Moses. Moses was always sending. I think sweetie, hustling. And then I started talking. He's a writer director. We started talking, and then I kind of like started to know him a little bit more better. Not in detail, full, but I know he loves the film industry. He loves writing, he likes directing. Even though I don't know whether he likes anime or not. That's the one thing I have to know about him, because I don't know if he likes anime or not. But I'm that, like, I'm very comfortable with people working. I know. But even if he was not here, I was just gonna come in, do my thing, you know, like share what I have to share, and then go.
Alright, now that's dope. Okay, now you've said a number of things that I've been picking or noting. One of them is you mentioning Lemco and Avda. One of them is mentioning writing in your interactions with Moses. Moses is our director for you who may be watching. But also, before we speak about writing, before we get into you going to Avda and Lemco, give us maybe a brief background of who you are, your name, Spiro, how you got that name, and I know your names are Phenyo Ogotseng. Do you know what Ogotseng means? Because I asked everyone this question. Do you know what your surname means?
Okay, Phenyo, I know what it means winning. I always win. Ogotseng, I have no idea. I'll ask my dad about that. For me, Phenyo is a guy that I grew up in Gabs. Like most of my life, I grew up in Gabs. My mom's from Chudi, my dad is from Tsopo, Machaning, like up north. And then like, hey, I'm like most of the time I was always in Gabs. I love Gabs. Like every time I'm Kochai, I feel like, hey, I need to come back. I feel out of place. But the funny thing about it, I love traveling. I've been to Bobonong, I've been to I love traveling all about in bots, learning new things, coming up with ideas for a next gig or something. Because I'm a freelancer, like you know how it is. You have to always have ideas, write them down, and then share them with people. But certain ideas you don't share them to the full extent because people steal. People steal. So you just share a little bit and then you just leave them hanging. But yeah, that's a bit of me.
That's literally a bit. But I want us to go more into depth. You grew up in Gabs.
I grew up in
Gabs. And then take us up until Lemco and Avda.
Okay. I grew up in phase 2.
Wait, phase 2 number lane because I grew up.
No, like I grew up in like phase 2 side ZCC, So I grew up by phase 2 ZCC up until standard 3. I went to Pakalani and then I went to GI, and then after standard 3, and then I went to Philip Mushotle from standard 4 till Gehetsa. That's like blockade, and then junior I went to Ludumani. I did that from 1 to form 2. I was in Kwening district, like deep. I hated that place, but we was more day back there, see all these type of things. And then from there I went to Mogoditan Senior, which is also outside Mogoditan. And then I remember I was doing Form 5, and then I don't know what they call it. You have to do a career fair. So yeah, it's career fair. And then they came to Mogoditan Senior. Mogoditan Senior was a bigger school, man. It was big. So these people came, different schools. Now I knew working. Maths, I keep it up. Hey, maths was never my thing. And then people from Lemco, hey my guy. You know how people, they can sell you like a page, marketing. They were good at that. So they came to our school. They came to our school with the fancy Macintosh computers and stuff. They're showing us animation. They're showing us that. And I was like really interested in animation. And I was like, yo. Because I was doing art in junior and senior school. And I was like, you know what? I want to do animation. And then the year came, we wrote our exams. yeah, we didn't do well. I didn't do well that much, but I did try. And then I went to Limco, got to Limco. It was it was target 20,000, by then. Target 20,000. I got there, and then this lady, I tell her, okay, look, I want to do animation, and then she takes my phones out, and she's like, no, look, your points are not sufficient for you to do animation, but you can do film. And I was like, does film have animation in it? And she's like, yeah. Like she just says yeah because she wants me to like register and then check me out. And I was like, you know what? I registered, did that whole thing. Then I'm there, Lemco. 2016, I started Varsity. And then it was called digital video. I did digital video. And then when I got the digital video, I was like always concerning my lectures about, hey guys,
where's the animation?
Where's the animation? Because I want to do animation. Like I did art, I want to do animation. And then the first year I hated film. And then that's when I realized there was after by OD. And then I tried my level best to be like, hey guys, I want to take a transfer, I want to go to after. And then the lectures were like, nah, it's already late. And then second year, some lecture came called Mr. Isenaga. He was doing writing and directing, Thomas. And then they set me down, talked to me, oh, he can do this. And then slowly but surely, I fell in love with film. And then up until like, I remember second year, third term, up until I wrote my first script, and then it was just probably 3 minutes, and then I wrote something down, took a camera, we took cameras, we went to shoot. After shooting, we're editing, and then we saw it on a big screen. And then from there, I was like, hooked. I was like, there's nothing that turns me on in seeing something that I wrote coming into life. That's when I was hooked. I was like, you know what? And I enjoyed it now. The second year, third year, I enjoyed it. And then I finished 2018. When I finished 2018, I was like, yo, what am I going to do? Like, you know, when you're done with varsity, what's the next plan? You're trying to look for work. You're trying to grind through media itself. It's not really working out. Because at Lemco, we were taught so many subjects. And they were not really specializing. We were taught so many subjects. We were taught cinematography, editing, producing. You can't learn all these things and be like, oh, it's a school, you're going to be an editor, writer, do this. You can't do that. You have to really focus on one thing. And then from there, progression came. That was 2019. Progression came, I registered again, and then I was fighting, and then DTF was like, you know what, go. And then I did it. I went to AVDA. Like, the very first time I got on AVDA, I saw a lot of people. I saw like, I remember I came during summertime, these guys were, wintertime, these guys had closed. And then these people came, I saw Moses, Bukunda, like, Kunda also is a writer-director. Yeah, and then I saw them, I saw these people, all these people, and they were like, really hooked in what they did. And Lemco, there was nothing like that. Like, Lemco was always like, everyone was doing that thing, but there, people were like, community. Like, they were constantly together talking about writing, directing, talking about movies. And I was hooked. I was like, yo, this is, if this could actually happen in the real world, then I'm at the right place. And then from there, the name Spiro comes from Rhythm City. There was some character called Bongani. I was doing Standard 7. And my cousin was, by that time I had funny nicknames. I called myself, because I like the movie, but there was a character named Cyrus the Virus. So in primary and junior, I was calling myself Cyrus the Virus. And then
that's why you guys got that name from a movie. Because I know plenty Cyrus the Viruses out there.
It comes from the movie. Nicolas Cage. And then my cousin was like, nah, but I can't the name Cyrus the Virus. Call yourself Spiro. And I was like, Spiro is like, it's the people by Bijan Spiro, like actual names or essay. And then she's like, no, call yourself Spiro. And then I was like, you know what, Spiro.
Now that's dope. That's very dope. That's quite a mouthful that you gave me, but I'm very satisfied in your answer. It's very sufficient, and I know my viewers are also happy, because what we like doing is we like getting to know the person we're talking to. And season 4 is dedicated to writers, be it script writing, be it a poet, be it an author, which is what I didn't want to let you know on about before we started recording, because that would be taking away from this conversation that we're having now. As a writer, as a platform that is highlighting writers this season, I want you to take me through your writing, not journey, but process. When you develop a story, when you start writing, where does it come from? What's the inspiration? What do you write about, and what influences your style of writing?
For me, like, hey, there's a whole lot. You just have to ask me. Like, for me,
I'll break them down.
for me, like, normally when I start writing, like I'd climb a combi. Most of the times, what I used to do is like I'll get in a combi, and then I'll take a long route combi, and then sit at the back, and then literally try to listen to people's conversations in the combi, or start a conversation in the combi, be it something that's happening in the country or something. That's where I start literally.
Okay.
Or I can just see a story written, I'll be like, because I'm really tired of writing stories that are commonly known in Botswana. HIV, gender-based violence, mental issues. Yes, those are stories, but we're constantly talking about them. We need something fresh, something different.
Like?
So we need more thriller. We need to watch movies that talk about dialogue, like whereby it's all about dialogue, be it in a one room or like something totally different, like something like the phone booth. We need something like that. In Botswana, maybe
the phone booth is by.
I really don't know. I forgot the writer.
The actor.
What's his name? I forgot his name.
Okay.
But the movie's phone booth is just based on one place, and
is it because I'm trying to? Okay, I'm thinking cellular, not phone booth. That's fine. Okay, that's fine.
No. The phone booth. The movie's called phone booth.
I'm thinking cellular.
So for me, when I start writing, also going back to that, I literally just start writing. I can start off just like be like characters, and then just go on.
Okay, character, right?
Yeah.
That's the first thing, right?
Yeah.
Where does that come from? Is it
character? For me, my characters always come from my surroundings. It always comes from my surroundings, because most of the times when I write, I recycle the names of the people, and then I just change it back and forth. But for me, I start off with the character. After the character, I'll be like, what was this character gonna tell this other character? What is it gonna be about? Because maybe like, let's say I live in for me, honestly speaking, I live like in a one room. You understand me? I call my one room the Ku Klux. There was a script that I wrote whereby like this guy's frustrated about living in the Ku Klux. So the whole script was just about this guy being in the Ku Klux, like maybe spending a whole day inside the Ku Klux, not doing anything, just being frustrated by the fact that there are no jobs. So that's when I wrote the whole story about the Ku Klux, whereby this guy is frustrated, putting myself in that story. But I was just writing, and then at one point I was like, you know what, it's too much, it's too depressing and stuff, and then I scraped it off, and then I completely wrote something different about that also. So for me, I just juggle stories. I really don't have a constructive way. I just write up until I show a person or a friend, I'm like, oh look, can you read this? And then once I get the feedback, I'm like, okay, now I can break it down. Because for me, characters, like, the more you think about a character, it's gonna just degrade the whole character. You just have to have a character that you just think about, right? And then from there, that's when you can come back and then do the whole character Bible. Because what states are, it's a whole lot of process. How is a character? Some sort of thing, a character Bible.
What's that?
A character Bible is more of like a description of your talent.
Okay.
Like okay, this person is how does this, or facial is
so a biotype,
biotype of thing.
Okay, and then what else?
And then what was the other question again?
Before you answer the other question, you are telling us what states your character bio. What else do they have?
Oh, so like what states, like in America, what I know is that these are the things that we were taught at AFDA. Like you have to have your character Bibles, you have to have your arc, because you can't just write a story from point A to C. Beginning, middle, and then ending. Climax, all these other things. Yeah, so we were taught a whole lot of things after working. A story has to have a beginning to end, because the moment you start writing, have you ever read a play and then you see working? The story is just boring. It's just, there's nothing hooking you. Like whereby you're watching let's say you're watching anime.
Okay.
You're watching anime, the first pilot episode, and this anime doesn't hook you. The reason why it didn't hook you is because it didn't draw you in. Like there was nothing drawing you into the story.
Okay.
So when you write a story, there has to be the first thing that draws you in. If someone gets stabbed, and then out of nowhere this person is no longer getting stabbed, you have to ask yourself, how does this person get stabbed? Why is he getting stabbed? And why is the person stabbing doing this? And then the story has to drag on and on and on, and just keep you glued on. Like what's gonna happen next? Like that's why most of the series in America, like The Witcher, Game of Thrones, all these other series and movies, hookers. Like Interstellar. I watched Interstellar like Christopher Nolan. I watched it like 3 times for me to understand it, because it was too mind blowing. Talent. Like those are the things that we need to be writing. Things that mind blow.
It's crazy. It's crazy because literally the last interviewer that I had, or the last guest that I had, was like, not highlights about tenet and all that. I don't want that. I just want the simple stuff that just communicates.
No, yes.
I'm not saying either of you guys are wrong or bad. I'm just saying I like how there's such a variation and or variety in ideas from writers in the country. One can say these are mind-blowing, these mind-fucking things, I don't want to have them, and one would say that's what I really want. No,
the thing is one person once told me, like, from I don't know, from Botswood, told me what again, we have to make things that Botswana like.
I want to agree.
For me, yes. The thing is, Akechani, we have to make things that Botswana like and we enjoy. But at what cost, like viewership? We have to make something that, yes, as Botswana, it's for Botswana, it's by Botswana, and Botswana ba we enjoy. Like, did you enjoy the United Kingdom?
Was that for Botswana, by Botswana? Let's start there.
United Kingdom was just...
But I enjoyed Colors, I've enjoyed Tanya, I've enjoyed quite a number of local productions. Some.
A
lot, because Tokolosi
was like, for me, Tokolosi was the best. Like, was the best. Tokolosi was the best. But I came to ask you, United Kingdom had like...
But it wasn't for Botswana, by Botswana.
It was for Botswana.
Not by Botswana.
It was for Botswana.
Not by Botswana. Okay, no, yes. Actually, it wasn't for Botswana because, hey man, I like debating. It wasn't for Botswana because of the story or the narrative that was being pushed in that movie, which is also for Makowa.
You see, that's the thing. Okay, so that's the thing. That's the case where I'm trying to get you. Like, if we can make things for Botswana, not for Botswana. Correct, making a movie for Botswana.
Yeah.
But making it also. That's what I'm trying to push.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to push. Whereby we can make mind-blowing stories, like from Botswana.
Yeah.
Let's say Matsieng, Bogore, Bosakhamit, all these things, making it mind-blowing for the audience internationally. That's what I'm trying to push.
And I get you. No, when you put it like that, I get you.
In this thing, I want to push those as Makoa, Relmo Botswana, Ruzangwa. No. All I'm trying to say is that let's push scripts that are mind-blowing in Botswana.
Made a conversation in Botswana. No, I get you. I totally get you. Now, hey man, now we're going on tangents, and I love when we're going on tangents because it means I'm using my brain to think and ask you questions. You said inspiration sometimes is conversation start when being either listening to people or engaging in conversation, right? But there are other things or these other sources or source material that I believe to especially depict Setswana stories or Botswana history. Have you ever considered going to places like the National Museum or the archives or Botswana National Archives records to get source information or to source information about build up history that you can now sell and say, Makoa, this is Botswana? I totally understand your question. Like my guy, the thing is, I'm a freelance writer and director, but for me to actually do all these things, I have to have money. Because when I go museum, you have to pay money, my guy. I look at Sabuka or Miss Source thingy, I have to pay a certain amount of money. I guess but yes, for you to get information. But for me now, I never really use those museum or national archives. National archives get really more like you have to pay for certain fees. How about a certain clip, you have to pay a certain amount of money. But for me, my guy, what are daily news? For me, daily news always has the funny stories. Like I stories funny, the stories working. Like when I more front page in ya malobela daily news. Neighbor kanya or Zenzuru pins hope on my CC. How every time they renew their IDs, they have to bring a witness. Mazenzuru. There's a story there. You see, the whole part about Mazenzuru. Some Mazenzuru feel worried than not Botswana because the way they're being treated. There's a story there already. You can talk about Mazenzuru themselves, either being a documentary or making a short film about Mazenzuru's life in Botswana. Already there's a story. Why go all the way to a national museum or library? Nah, newspapers are there. People but they must start them. The issues about I like conspiracy issues. I like that, but sometimes they can get you in trouble. But
we can play around with them. So I guarantee we can do all these things, but material is everywhere, my guy. Material is everywhere.
Material is
everywhere.
Okay, that's true. That's true, and I totally understand that. But in terms of historical material,
for me, historical material, like if I was to write, there was a time I wanted to write about the 3 chiefs. Writing about the 3 chiefs, it was gonna be a lot of research. Sometimes for me, yes, research is very key, but hey, I really don't have time to push research. My research is always limited. Let's say, okay, Phenyo, we're giving me 3 months to actually come up with a script for this. I'd rather take a month. I'll take a month looking for material, going through the material, UB for the lectures, by history, asking them about questions, because like if you research a lot, you're gonna take a long time to actually come up with something that you're gonna do. Up until someone comes up about, I want to push something about the 3 chiefs. So you have to be always have to push, but in a constructive way. That's what I always do. But yeah, I do research sometimes I don't. I just skip that whole research thingy and just go with the flow.
I don't know how to say this. Is it, well, I'm gonna spell it out for you and not Ambulel. DEGA pictures. DEGA pictures. I thought I get Deha.
Oh, Dega.
Which is why I was spelling it.
No,
okay,
Dega. It's Dega.
Okay.
Dega pictures.
Now I need you to explain what is Dega Pictures before telling us what Dega Pictures does. I mean, the name Dega Pictures. Where does that come from?
Okay, I was like, for me as an artist, I was an artist like go junior, and then like our teachers were always telling us, working guys, you have to have your own style. Like people write in their own styles, people draw in their own styles. Like looking at that painting, people draw and do everything in their own ways. So and then our teachers, like my teacher you have to have an artist that you have to look up to, be it Picasso or other artists, and Michelangelo. And then when I got to senior school, there was an artist called Edgar Degas. He was a French artist. He was basically into impressionisms. So then I was like, oh, and then I really loved his work because I did a lot of abstract work, abstract. And then up until after, and I was like, and then I went back to my drawings and I was like looking at them, and I was like, yo, Degas. At first I was like Degas Motions, Degas BW, Degas 267. I was like, this is boring. Like, and I was like, you know what, Degas Pictures.
Okay, now stop. And then tell us the story of Degas Pictures. What do you guys do?
Degas Pictures is me basically, man. It's just me as a freelancer, as I've been saying. I'm a freelancer. I really love cooperating with people, like be it a big thing or a small thing. I'll literally take my time to actually come share my ideas or creative insights of how we can do certain things, as long as I don't get taken for granted. Because that's one thing I really hate. Like if you're telling me working, hey, Degas, come through, let's sit down in a conference, let's talk. Okay, if we're gonna be talking about the script, we're gonna shoot the script, let me just sign a contract to show working my ideas were put into that. Hey, don't pay me, just put me into the forms that working. Credits or no, Degas Pictures was part of this, was helping us. That's it. That's what I love.
No, I get you. And I like the fact that you keep mentioning how you are freelance, but you also mentioned having a business. And isn't Degas a registered business?
It's not yet registered. It's not yet registered. It's in the process. It's in the process.
Now I'm guessing now you have big dreams for Degas. This includes being your own production house, or this is an assumption?
For me, Degas Pictures, what I would love to see Degas Pictures be is probably in cooperation with other media companies. I really don't want to be like Degas Pictures is there. I'd want Degas Pictures to be called. Hey, go to Degas Pictures. I'd want Degas Pictures to be called on working. Look, can you come help us with this, and then actually work with other production houses? Because in Boss, there's so many production houses spread out throughout the country, but they never come together and be like, you could never see 4 production houses working on one thing.
Why is that?
Because everyone wants to eat.
Okay.
Everyone wants to eat.
Okay. Now I guess we're getting into this conversation now. Everyone wants to eat, ne? And because everyone wants to eat, I guess there's a lot of conversations of the people who are not eating.
Yeah, hey.
Who are like, oh guys, why you gotta hojaba tobalo wani and hojaba tobalo wani only always? How do we counter that as an industry? How do we make the industry in such a way that we all eat?
No, all I can say, hey, my guy, when I corruption, the corruption, nepotism, 2 minutes within the creative industry, because I'm not gonna name companies. I'm just saying, when a company one better tenderella like where are the other companies? There are those companies they don't know working. Okay, one and I better tender and I better tender man. One I'm on a producer. I can't 2 more ring. Me, the actors, the people, the makeup artists, banal opinions. My guy, I once spent a whole entire month on set. An entire month. And I got no GC one but when it came to actually being paid or whatever the money that you're being given, you're like, because you're hungry, how come the point out I can't. Hey, but then my G like my deal, I was like, and I was like, you know what? I need to buy toiletry, I need to pay rent, I need to buy this thing. Let me just survive. I get working.
Yeah.
One, two. Once I had some idea, I working. Or one more time, how much no, so more bots my G. Once these people they never really tell you okay, look, they never call the whole crew, the people that they casted and tell them working the amount that we're gonna be working on.
Okay.
No, tomorrow be on set. Yeah. You're never told this is how much you're gonna use. PD working or 20,000 for the whole thing that you need. How much do you need or what do you think we need?
Okay.
That much more. That's the reason why okay.
Wow. And then now, because I saw a tweet yesterday or the day before yesterday, and this guy was speaking on how the bus rank in Mulapole is not being used anymore, and the biggest reason as to why it's not being used, and this is the new one, it's because there was no consultation with the taxi association. The taxi association is the same association a couple of years ago, a couple of months ago, were like, you know what, my question is, why Sakopane, the association,
there was I don't know, like there are a few. Oh yeah, there was, like we were at the film summit on the 13th July, and then there were some people that were from these initiatives or associations. There was some guy. Among was that guy with the glasses.
Mr. Prince Mona. From where?
Mr. Prince Mona. Prince Mona, chairperson Botswana film and video industry of Botswana. He's from like also from the writing. Is it writing or it's just film itself?
Yeah.
There's film. Yeah. And then there was another time we got Tapong
Visual Arts Center.
No, there was writers.
Screen Society.
Screen Society. And then screen. They're always talking about the same thing. But we are the same thing. There's never really something that pushes forward. Something that's going forward. Thing like that. Screen. How actors do? I do actors thing because you're an actor. For actors. How as a writer director, I'm gonna take advantage of you.
Okay.
That's what's happening right now.
And I get that. What do you think would be the best way to make these things work for you guys and make sure that you guys don't get ripped off?
For me, my guy, there has to be like ratings. Rates.
Okay.
I'm a writer and director. If I studied writing and directing at a certain school, how much am I supposed to be being paid? How much am I supposed to be paid?
Okay.
That's the only way. Because when I'm a game, my mobots, I wanna a writer, I wanna an actor, or gafara, or a sound recordist, or an editor.
Yeah.
Harizore an editor, so I don't know.
Okay, now I'm payment and stuff. As a DJ myself, I know I don't charge what DJ Kuchi or Casper the DJ or DJ Scratch or whoever DJ charges. I know for sure we don't charge the same amount of money. Rather, if we both went to Avda and we're both gaffers, are you saying now we should be charging the same amount of money?
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that
you say this should be a basic amount.
No, this we came from the same backgrounds of learning, DJing, or there are people that are self-taught in writing, and then there's some people that actually went to school. Nowadays, nobody wants to hire a person that hasn't have like criteria or like to actually show working. What you're saying is actually that.
I hear what you're saying.
DJs, as a DJ, you can charge a certain amount, or no, this is how much I'm charging. And then a professional DJ about this is how much I'm charging. When I look, as long as there's noise, we mix it sharp, I'll pay you now. And I would about the actual amount. For me as a writer director, for me now, I'll charge any amount, how much work I'm putting into it. I write a script from like 25 pages to probably 100 pages. That's a lot of pages. Kana 1 page is 1 minute. So Hiloriki you want 50 minutes. 50 minutes is how much? Probably the rest of essay and it's a stack go USA. But you compare yana. Okay. Ngale ka go irang gore ke se ka ipola gape ke se ka bola motho le ke se ka mo go antla. That's how I do it.
Ke a go utlwa meano kana o rile ha re bua o simolla ka khanya the rates I get the standard rating is for a background rating you and I we have the same ratings, we have not ratings but same backgrounds. The only difference is that and again like Stevie G with Spiro and then one company comes to us wanting both our services either nakana wena hello charge 5,000 another charge 5,000.
No, what I'm trying to say is like our work should speak for ourselves.
Okay.
Our work should speak for ourselves. You have 5 films. You have 5 films, and I have 1 international film. Our work will speak for ourselves.
This is exactly where I'm going. If you are saying we should have rates and normalize standard ratings, then what's making me more special than you, or what's making you more special than me to say I charge 10 grand and you charge 2 grand? If you are saying
the reason why in bots we're doing that is because the work that we've put in. Like a production house, let's say the Got Pictures has done 10 films and then has done 2 documentaries and has done like a few international work with collaborating with a few international people from AC or any product or wherever. Then my production house speaks for itself, working not chargeable and that's what we're sticking. And I wanna do it. I wanna the rates, my guy. I wanna the rates. Tender, let's say tender is 20 million for 3 years. We push a docu series or for 3 years. 3 years or 20 million. About 20 million. No, Sundro do a very kibago and over duela young. How but my film was also about duela boca.
What I'm thinking in my head right now, I'm saying if I have the option of getting James Gunn, Zack Snyder, Christopher Nolan, clearly if all those 3 guys are gonna charge me differently for the same movie.
No, who you're talking about 3 big names?
No, that's what I'm saying. But if it's me and you and Moses and we're all the same.
As I was saying, our work will speak for ourselves. Again, our work. And Moses, let's say, gets the gig, and then Moses is like, "Ish, this is too much for me to handle." Spiro, but how much are you willing to give me also gore le nna khona survive Moses tla ba re Moses tla ba go tla ba go buela the producers ba gagwe ba khona go irang ba khona go I think go cancel gore motho o bereka o duela bokae as a laborer gore ba tla ba go tsa di rates di laborer one di rates di laborer one o tla ba tsa di rates di laborer ba re no ha le spiro tla ba bereka le rona for 8 hours mo setting rate di bokana something per hour but they was calculate gore no in a day khona na la spiro probably $100 in a day already now fast.
Okay, now isn't it on you as a struggling creative and a struggling creator to sometimes say no?
No, not for me. That's why I'm like a freelancer one. Not for me. I'm always open to how big people in bots I want. Hey, the thing is you just have to shut up. Shut up and do your work. Like for me honestly, like just shut up. No, I learned about that people by working when you work with them you can clearly see how it's blank. It's blank. But what do you do? But what you do? You shut up. You shut up because
that's how you get paid.
Because now I'm trying to build my rep as a creative. I'm trying to get myself out there to people. I'm trying to show people working. I'm here also. Because kind of we're getting older, the young generation is coming up. So we have to put a foundation in working.
Put it here, must. I respect that. Ish, man, I really love where this conversation is going because one, but when over the last couple of weeks when I'm interacting with you guys, I'm getting to appreciate more what you guys do, and I'm getting to appreciate more the art of cinematography hella as a whole, the amount of work you guys put in to get a production set up from
it's a whole lot.
It's a whole lot, bro. I think but I need to start understanding this.
It's a whole job. It's a job. Like you can actually go remember if it was like big. Mutonga bera ha tsoga phakela a tswa hela na ka le ba mago ba itse rona ngwana ke wa tiro in bots it's like
exactly
batla tiro wa bona. Yes, you can get a job whereby you earn 5,000 but at the back of your mind at the back of your mind, you're always going to be thinking about, I want to shoot this script, I want to do this. Because you're not really happy where you're at. You're just there because you need money. And more media. At the end of the year. So, at the end of the year, you have to do something. That's the reason why I'm most of the time the creative world is dying or it's not doing anything. That's why so maybe there could be a change in the media world in Botswana. But till that happens, my G, I'll just stick to being freelancing.
Hey man, now I have this question. Well, I'm reading this question that LJ has written for me, and LJ is my producer. And it's only coming as a segue based on what you just said now. Now the question is, if you are not writing or directing, what would you do? Or what other source of income would you use to get yourself the bucks? Or what do you do on the side?
Like besides this, I just cook magunya, mafresh. Just to make it extra cash and to keep the mind busy.
I get you. I get you. You're 100 for real. Because in about 20 minutes and I need to do this before I want to ask you this question. Your budget 10 grand and a 2-way ticket to go wherever you want.
10 grand?
Yeah, that's one. Also, your budget it's unlimited. Still 2-way plane ticket. Where are you going? What are you spending on? 10 grand and unlimited budget.
Oh man, I'd go to Japan, man. I'll go to Japan.
That's the second person to say Japan. Is it because of anime and
man. Japan is one of those countries that I literally need to. I'd want to shoot probably a Shaka Zulu type of story based on the ninja ways. Combining the Bushido code, you go Japan, the whole samurai and stuff, combining it also with the shaka or the balete, combining that fusion and then trying to come up with something like that.
I see it.
Those two cultures, clashing African culture and the Japanese culture, but obviously I they were using swords, and then we're using spears. Yeah, so also they were using spears. So combining the two things, two elements. Yeah,
that would be crazy. That would be so crazy. Now it's making me want to ask, because obviously we tataka you being an animator or you being an aspiring animator. Where is that right now in your plan? And
for animation, for me, animation. There's what's his name? Theo. Is it Theo Moses?
Yes, Theo.
Theo's teaching animation right now. Like he's starting to teach it. So he was also like one of those guys that I always chatted with. He was a writer, director, also at After. So now he's teaching animation. I was yet to contact him probably the beginning of the end of the year or the beginning of the next year. But how much does he charge for that? So like, and then maybe learn, because I'd want to learn animation.
Okay, that's dope. And then the multi-choice talent factory. You gotta tell us the story. Go on.
She's gonna kill me if I say her name, but gang.
Yeah, don't say her name, but
but gang, she's a friend. She'll understand if she sees the show. So what happened is that I remember first, I think after that the multi-choice talent factory thing came out. I registered for it, like did the whole thing, registered, didn't get picked. I was like, okay, coolies. And then I remember I was with Catalina Pudi. Catalina Pudi was like, Spiro, let's do this. I did that, we did that. 1 2 jiggy jiggy. She gets picked. I was vexed. And then I was like, you know what, maybe they saw something in her that they didn't see me. But praise God that she went, and I was like happy for her that she went.
Okay.
But I was like, I registered 2 times, but I was like,
okay. Then how do you have a profile on that website then?
No, I agree that is for like in case only these people that you want to work with also in SA, Zimbabwe, Angola, Mossadegh. Okay, hello, there's someone from Zimbabwe that wants to work with me. We can connect each other, or they can connect. That's why I have a profile there.
So I'm gonna start listing a few weird names there. They're weird only in my head. Maybe in your head they're brilliant. Sneeman, how does that make you feel?
Sneeman makes me think about Blockade. Hell, the whole busy. There's a street called busy. How it's always busy. Yeah. They're always selling things and stuff. Yeah, that's where it came from. Like busy, like a Sneeman.
Okay, and then tell us about Sneeman.
Sneeman was a film that we did. I think we did in third year. Was it? I think it was. I forgot. It's been a while, my God. Third year. No actor, some guy called Stevie G. He's a brilliant actor, and then Bernard, they were in it. So it's basically a story about a guy they sell products. The other guy wants to eliminate the boss. So the boss realizes working. This guy's trying to do the double cross me. So and then at the end the other one gets killed.
Does that happen in the country?
In bots, it doesn't it hasn't happened or not. But I know working in SA that happens a lot, because
I know
that happens a lot. More bots say what happens is that I can sell you out. More bots say receipt a lot. I can sell you out to the cops. Out to the cops, or I can just out of nowhere. I just sold you out.
I know that. And then
I wrote that also with TBG in mind. That one was basically an artist that was using drugs to actually draw, because most artists in Botswana or all over certain countries that I know, they always use drugs.
Facts.
Some more better or have a visual perspective of things. So this guy was married, has a kid, so now the drugs took over. So he gets fired at work and then doesn't tell the wife, look, I got fired and all these things, and then they have a fight, and then the guy realizes, what I'm doing is not right, and then he leaves the family to go to rehab and then comes back as a better guy. Those were actually my 2 favorite films that I ever did at After that I really enjoyed. And then the other one is
Deprived Innocence Lim Maboko.
Deprived Innocence was all about defilement. I wrote that parliament and some parliament and I ran out to like an NGO or I was like, facts. This guy can actually say how to break NGO, and he does this, and then at that point, and then I wrote that whole defilement documentary, and that one also was good. Like all my films and documentaries that I did it after were dope, except one.
which is
okay. Maboko. Okay, wait. Maboko was the first one that we did. We did that one with no budget. Like it was crap, but it came out good. And then the last one we did was called The List. Yo, I had hopes for The List. Yo, I wrote The List. That one was based off The Butterfly.
Yeah. Oh, when I see where your headspace is at, writing.
So I wrote that script. The script was good, nice, and then the group. Group group work can kill you. So we did that, and then when it premiered Go Capital Cinema, I watched it. I was like, whereby you're embarrassing your work, maybe it seems to get the people that you're working with.
I know how that feels.
And I was like, I was hurt, but I was like, you know what? We push on.
Can you make a remake of it and do it?
No, I'd have to wait. How long does it take Moses for? Is it 5 years old?
But already right. It's
5 years.
It's 5 years.
I get
it's
it.
5
I
years.
totally get it.
That's 5 years.
On a couple of years from what I'm hearing, 2016 is when you started Scala again. After. Limco is 2016 is called Limco.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where you started your film career.
Yeah.
Between now and then, and I know there's a lot of challenges, right?
Yeah,
but
and
all that, but what are the other challenges outside Tamadi that you face?
Exposure, man. Exposure. We normally don't get exposed to a whole lot of these art gigs, these creative gigs or anything. Like, kind of what about a creative summit or about a creative space or network that's going on. Moses or someone tells me about it or someone shares it with me on WhatsApp, because it's like most information.
True, dog. I don't understand why.
Information, like that's the other thing that's really blocking our growth, because it's like babata only a few people by Lord Baba it's already. Push it. Like when Miss Botswana, all these things, one are the same presenter. We put presenter. They don't happy besides those other presenters. Body MC, because that's the thing about Botswana. It's like they want to see the same people do the same thing over and over and over. So that's basically my challenge. Besides capital, I just need exposure, my G. I just need exposure.
I get it. And then the answer in my head is yes, and that's only if you are the big peoples. But if you are not the big peoples, can you make a living out of our careers? And when I say our careers, I mean
for me right now, I'm trying to fight to get more capital. I'm trying to fight to get more capital. Like for me, the moment I just register my company, I link up with the right people. I wouldn't be afraid to go into a company, guys. You need 1, 2, 3. I think your company needs 1, 2, 3 for you to actually do this. Going to companies, selling your ideas to Orange, Mascom, all these other things. Yeah, I wouldn't be afraid to do that.
And that's dope. And then, do you have a favorite director, writer?
For me, my favorite director has to be Tim Burton because of his.
Wow.
It's Tim Burton because of his gothic. I like Tim Burton because he's worked a lot with Johnny Depp for like the longest time on.
Yeah.
They've collaborated in so many films. That's my favorite director. And then for like writer, I'd say it's Christopher Nolan, it's Steven Spielberg, it's Quentin Tarantino. Like,
hey,
those are my favorite writers.
That's a nice.
And then directors Tim Burton because of his gothic way.
It's crazy because I don't watch a lot of movies, which means I don't know a lot of directors, right? But Tim Burton is like one of, and only because of the Batman. Is one of my favorite directors. Only because of the band.
But he has a lot. He has a lot of other movies though. Yeah, but yeah.
That's dope. I have almost 10 minutes. Since I have 10 minutes, I have a few questions that I'll ask before Kira wrap up. Yeah. How important is it to know business or the business side of things in creative work?
It's very important. It's very important because at Abda, like I don't know why I keep on saying it Abda.
It's good that you keep saying Abda. Guys.
Like we were taught a whole lot of things. We were taught production, narrative, aesthetics. There were like 5 key elements that you have to learn. What they know on producing. Producing they entail all about the marketing, the way. Gonna entail how to make a living out of. So for me right now, I know like Langa Toyana. I know how much I need to actually make. Budget and I break it down. My script. Like it's very important. Okay, camera. How many cameras am I gonna need for this shoot? How many lights am I gonna need? How many backup generator? If I need a backup generator. The lapel, body, all these other things. High-load equipment is 50K. High-load equipment is 50K. Cast takes some to give you a bukana, crew some to give you a bukana, and then transportation. I already know everything. Lay contingency plan. You have to always have a contingency plan. Contingency plan is just basically money and extra liability in case as an actor. So I already know the business side of how to generate money.
Okay, that's dope. I'm gonna list a couple of names, and I want you to tell me in one word or describe these names or these people or the owners of these names in one word. Phenyo Ogotseng. One word to describe him.
Brilliant.
Naomi Nod.
Oh, would love to marry. Would love to marry.
One word.
Wifey.
Okay.
Wifey.
Muzuku G Master.
Who's that?
Muzuku G Master. It's on your timeline. G Master. MOZUKU and Muzuku G Master. It's right there. Here.
I have no idea.
Okay, Mr. Producer, you need to do your research correctly. And then Launema Tule.
Hard worker.
Hardworking. Alright, that's dope. As a country, do you believe we are a filmmaking nation?
Yeah, man, we are. If Botswana let's not blame everything on the government. Like I really hate the kind of thing. Let's not blame the government. As Botswana, we can make money. We can make money out of film. We can. Oh, when I'm not a tender, I win a tender. I got the 5 million. Hey, my dad.
Exactly.
We can.
So okay. What things do you wish you knew before getting into the industry that you know now?
I was not. I wish we I wish I didn't know what people are being ripped off. Like that's one thing. I wish.
Wish you didn't.
No, I didn't know what people are being ripped off or being used. Because most of the times, most of the times, our producers that are upcoming actors. I'm an inspiring actress or actor. I don't do like peanuts.
I get you. Give me a list of the film festival
I went to the Bantu Film Festival. I've went to the 48-hour one, that film festival, and then I'm yet to go to the International Film Festival on the 20th of November to 23, if it's gonna be there.
And so these two film festivals you've attended, what's your experience been like, and how have they made? They're really
dope. Like the one that really stuck out was the 48-hour one, because that one was like internationally recognized. Like that's when you see working on one. Like the people that I'm networking with, you can see working. This is it. The Bantu one was more locally, but it's getting there. It was also dope.
It's 3 years now with the Bantu. Is it 4?
I'm not. Is it 3? 2.
It's 2. Alright, that's interesting.
Okay, can I say one more thing? Hey, producers, please don't kill me. Like I know after this airs, producers are gonna be like, hey, we're not backing. Like
Okay. Is there specific producers you're talking
No. I'm not gonna mention names. I don't want to get myself killed.
Okay. Because we're about to wrap up, I'm in the next 5 minutes. I want you to leave a message to somebody who is inspired by you or seeing this right now and says, I want to do what he does.
Oh, okay.
And I want to be greater than he will be, because for sure probably younger than you, and they're gonna be inspired, right?
Yeah.
What would you say to them?
Great filmmakers borrow. No. It doesn't go like that. The thing doesn't go like that. It goes like good filmmakers borrow, great filmmakers steal. So what I'm trying to say is that there's nothing new under the sun. If you want something, go for it. Like for me, I know working 5 years in the film industry right now, and I'm not really know that much, but I'm still fighting to get there. like my biggest dream right now is to actually probably win an Oscar or just an award. But my biggest award in Kai Battling is an Oscar. Like it's an Oscar. If I can just get one Oscar, I'm done. Because Warren Buffett got rich at probably, was it?
Well, after 40 or 50.
Yeah,
50,
so you can be in the industry, but you know, at one point someone would say, hey, you did something good though. That's what I'm trying to say.
Nah, I get it. Do you have any projects you're working on?
Right now working on the project and for the tender, a tender for the ministry, another film international summit. So I'm trying to write the script, me and some producer of mine called Bonte. We're trying to push that, and already we have a group of ours, you know, working. We're trying to sit down and see how things go, and then if I'm just praying where we get picked, and then show what's working. This is our talent, and this is what we have to show.
That's the because we like a tendering, and most of the ways in which film makes money in Botswana has been through tendering processes.
Yes, through tender process.
Where now as a writer, as a producer.
I'm not a producer.
Director. Sorry for that. Do you think of other ways of getting money that's not tendering in the country? It's
always about, if it's not BTV giving out the tenders, then it's probably you going to, or you advertising yourself, having a Facebook platform or Instagram platform where look, I do videography, I do wedding shoots, all these things. Those are the only way also that you can make capital and boards through media, doing TV commercials, all these type of things besides film. Or you can do documentaries. Documentaries in Botswana is that, but documentary, but there is money there also. As long as it's a nice documentary, then because documentary I'll spend a lot of money, then you can make money. But besides the tender and all these things, it's always videography, manyalo, all these other TV commercials. That's how.
That's where the money is.
That's how people make a bit of money. Yeah.
Okay, now that's interesting. And then selling content internationally. Have you?
Selling content internationally, in Botswana, it's a bit tricky because you have to have a good producer. Well working has connections with people probably in SE. They can sell your things to Netflix, but Netflix has its guidelines for high content now. It has to have some sort of following these contents. You can't shoot probably a Canon. You have to shoot with these high standard. So that's the only way you can sell your content internationally.
Okay, and then as a writer, do you read the script? It's about to go as like
I really always try my level best not to read a lot of people's scripts because, as I say, there's nothing new under the sun. You might find something interesting within someone's script and then probably turn it around. So I always try to avoid that because in terms of like wood copyrights and all those type of things.
That is rather interesting. And then now you don't read people's scripts, but you read a few, right?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Which one of those has like struck out and been the most remarkable or most memorable, and why?
When I learned some guy, like I was in class with Nchafatso, Boshan Nchafatso. I wrote a script about what was it about? Like I forgot the whole, but it was about more like House of Zwide type of thing. Like we were doing telenovelas like yeah. So the script really stuck out for me because as I was reading it, I could already visualize it. This is gonna be a good story. And by the time it went out to visuals also, it was mind blowing. I was like I always keep in touch with him also. Like we share ideas about how we should do this and stuff like that. Like he's one of the guys by Lord King. Most of his stories for me stuck out because for him it sticks to his side of Mopilo and his stories. So me and him, most of our stories, you kind of link, but they don't link. But I don't know if you get me.
No, I get you. Now that's dope. This is us wrapping up the conversation. So if you have any last words, either to creatives or the powers that be, if there's something you're gonna say to them, please do that and then give us where we can reach you, be it social media, be it if you wanna say that, if you wanna promote your.
For me, all I can say is that guys, let's support each other. Let's support BW. If it's boring, just tell the person what it's boring, but just tell him or her in a constructive way, in a good manner. But let's support each other. For me, on Facebook, it's Phenyo Ogotseng. If you want to reach me out, just Phenyo Ogotseng @gmail.com. That's my email address. And then other than that, number 8.
That's how you wrap it up, sus. Cut. Wow.